15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Got that feeling? The one that makes you want to roll the windows down and just drive? A puddle! That's not just spring fever, that's a sign that it's time to visit Nisku Ford. They've got the cure for your driving fever with their biggest offers of the year. Get rebates as high as $12,000 on select new models, or drive away with 0% interest. Don't just dream about the open road, own it. Find your cure for spring fever at niskuford.ca. Above expectations.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas.
This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and intern Mackenzie with you here from the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. Of course, you can always get in on the chat. 1-833-401-1440 is the text line. Email Connor at sports1440.ca and Brandon at sports1440.ca. The show brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. You can check them out online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com or in Leduc. Go pay him a visit. Say hello. Maybe talk to Trent about his Cowboys. They're not in on Maxx Crosby, apparently. Talk to him about the Oilers as well. And grab yourself a bag or two of their amazing beef jerky. Lots to discuss here on the program today. I don't even know where to begin. The Edmonton Oilers, big win, 4-3 over the Colorado Avalanche. The Ravens retracting their trade with the Oakland Vegas Raiders. World Baseball Classic. The Americans falling to Italy, who... if you go through that team, it's a lot of Americans and a couple of Venezuelans. Or
Vinny Pasquantino.
83 points from Bam. I mean, what a night in sports. It was absolutely chaotic.
Connor, power rank the 4 biggest stories last night from where you sit. Oilers win over the Avalanche. Bam's 83 points. Maxx Crosby trade rescinded. America falling to the Itals.
Yeah. Baseball is now Italy's game. That's the way it works. That's the way it works.
If the Americans taught us anything, that's how this works.
That's how it goes. Even if their team, I was going through it out by the bar, Duke. If you go through their pitchers, there's 15. 3 are Italian born. The rest American.
We talked about, Kevin made the joke. Essentially, if you're an American baseball player and your name ends in a vowel, congratulations, you're playing for Team Italy. I don't even remember what the actual restrictions were. I think if you just had borderline any Italian ancestry, you were afforded the right to play for Italy if you wanted to. But guess what? If you gave any of those guys a chance, like straight up, you have the full roster in front of you. Would have any of these guys made the American team?
No.
So discount it as much as you want. It's still a huge upset regardless.
Oh yeah, it is. I like to have fun with it because whatever. The catchers, one American, one Venezuelan. But the Orazio.
Okay.
You could, it could be Italian.
That could be Italian.
You go through the infielders. There's 8. There is 7 Americans and 1 Venezuelan. Martini. Great name.
That's an Italian name.
And then in the outfield, 5 players, 4 Americans, 1 Canadian. So
who's Canadian?
Dante Nori.
Why is he not suiting up for the red and white?
Hitting 500 right now.
Unreal.
2 dingers, 4 RBIs.
We need that guy.
This guy's unreal. The Jays got to sign him. So, okay, we were power ranking those. Ooh, that's a good question. Number 4, Oilers beat the Avs. You know, that happened.
Hey, it was a great
It was
game.
a great game. Number 3, give me the baseball. Number 2, Crosby. Number 1, Bam.
Yeah.
83 points.
Mine's
from Bam.
Mine's starkly different.
I'll just go by saying, you know, seeing a player score more than 80 points, we've only seen that happen 3 times.
Yeah. Well,
Kobe.
we've only seen it
Yeah.
happen twice.
I love to bang the conspiracy drum and say it's only happened twice, Kobe and now Bam. Well, who knows? Maybe it wasn't 100. Maybe it was like 85. We'll never really know because there's no proof other than a picture with some ink on it. Then the trade, like, we don't see trades like this like rescinded. It doesn't happen. Upsets in sports happen quite often, and the Oilers beat the Avs occasionally. So that's just, you know, in terms of seeing how often it happens, that's my power rankings. What do you have? You got the Oilers number 1, don't you?
No, come on now. I'll put Oilers 4 still.
Okay.
Bam 3.
83 points. Second most ever.
Crosby 2. And I think that Italy beating the United States is the biggest story of last night.
If this was a group of, you know, Italians from Sicily, I'd be with you.
I loved your tweet. The Sopranos.
You get it now.
Yeah, Italian noises. It's a great scene. It's a great episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's massive. Like, what a crazy sports day. That wasn't even my best tweet of the night, though. Did you see my Stone Cold Steve Austin one?
Yes.
Yeah. Did numbies.
Yeah. That was fun.
Made it to Oilers Nation. So that's
way
to
go, Con.
I think
man.
I even got the Mackenzie retweets. So.
You're big time.
Yeah, I got like 2 followers from it. Always good when that happens. But yeah, honestly, just a crazy day. I could say, where do you guys want us to go with this one? Do you want to talk about Nathan McKinnon's play? Obviously, you're buzzing by the crease. Crazy things can happen. Contact sport. Goalies are supposed to be kept safe. I thought that McKinnon, his skate blades made me think he was turning away. He still would have gone through the crease, but I don't think it would have been a direct hit. Darnell Nurse playing the puck like he should, playing the man. Those things happen. Sucks for Ingram. I was on board for a penalty for sure. A little surprised by the 5 and then the game. And then I had people saying suspension. And that's where I'm like, no, I don't think we're going to see a suspension from this one. But at the end of the day, Oilers get the job done, even with Nate Mack missing the 3rd period. He'll take it.
And the Oilers are shorthanded too, right? And obviously none of the guys that end up leaving the game for them have quite the impact on the game shift to shift as someone like Nathan McKinnon does. I'm with you, Connor. I thought it was a 2-minute penalty. You need to be in control of your body. You're putting yourself in that space of a minimum risk of running into the goaltender. We know that it's a mandate from the NHL to protect the guys in the blue paint. But when you watch the replay, he's making an effort to change direction, get out of the way. That's the indication based on you follow his body path. And I don't think it can be understated that when you're moving as fast as McKinnon is, even the slightest bump on you, Darnell Nurse did not hit him softly, how much that can change your trajectory. His skates weren't even on the ice anymore, right? When he actually hits Ingram, you definitely feel bad for Connor Ingram in this spot. He's having a good night. Team's playing much better in front of him, particularly in the second half of that game. The blood, the injury, I think that is really the indicator here. That if there isn't blood leaking on the ice, do they rescind the 5-minute and go to just a 2-minute minor for goal interference? I firmly believe it's the case. I hear all the arguments. I see it for justifying the 5-minute penalty. I just disagree. I don't think there was intent. I don't think it was malicious. It's a guy driving hard to the net, which you want to see in hockey. And it's not like he was barreling straight down at him and never hit the brakes. I think it's just an unfortunate result on a hockey play that Ingram had to leave the game. Concussion spotter. He would have had to leave the game even if he wasn't bleeding.
Yeah.
Call spade a spade.
Yeah, he's concussed.
And we haven't gotten any updates yet on the likes of Ingram, Ty Emerson, or Colton Dach. But it's a gritty effort by the Oilers against a really good Colorado team, even when you don't have Nate McKinnon for a 3rd period.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we both say we penalty for sure. The 5 was a bit surprising.
Schlemmer says no penalty.
Oh, really? No penalty. I think that you have to at least kind of have that bar. Like, hey, we can't just have you guys pummeling full speed towards the net.
You can't have guys just flying through the air like that, Jackie.
It's a little bit dangerous going like that.
Foul. Like 2 fouls.
Semi-pro, for those wondering. 2 for interference, 2 for roughing would have been fine by me for Northside Lou. 5 in a game. Good for the Oilers.
The roughing for?
I don't know.
Like you just making
Maybe
up a
just
penalty to make it a double minor. Like the double minor thing is tricky because it only actually exists for certain penalties. What is this like an address? Like, should all of a sudden the rule book be expanded that at the ref's discretion, a double minor can be assessed for any penalty that doesn't quite cross the threshold of a game ejection and 5-minute major? And keep in mind, like 5-minute major penalties, you can score as many times as you want. Now, the Oilers' power play start the third period was terrible, just brutal look for them. But at least on a 4-minute double minor, you're max cashing in 2 power play goals. So like it's such a big jump from just a 2-minute minor to a 5, right? If we're talking egregiousness and impact on the game.
Roldy says, let's look at this like a vehicle accident. No, that's where I'm going to stop that one. No, it's either speed limits on the road. There's not speed limits in the NHL. They're not. You can't compare these two.
And also, yeah, the ability to control a vehicle. Yeah, it's a terrible analogy. I'm sorry.
John says McKinnon, of course, was intentional. He deserved, or unintentional, but he deserved the penalty. Some guys are trying to cut him some slack, but that's the rule. I think because Ingram was so far in the crease and there was blood, he had to leave the game. Those factored in. If 97 did the same thing, they'd give him 5 games from the Department of Player Safety. I don't know about that.
No, they wouldn't.
But
and if the same penalty, the exact same play happened in Connor McDavid, how many of these texters and stuff would have their opinion completely flipped?
Oh, for sure. And the Avalanche fans online would be saying the opposite.
Absolutely. It's just the nature of bias from a sports fan perspective, and that's fine. Like, you're a fan. That's good. Passion's appreciated. But yes, Nate McKinnon plays with a little more aggression in his game than, say, Connor McDavid does on a shift-to-shift basis. He's more the bull moose out there. McDavid, the dancing deer. But he's never been suspended. McDavid has. Like, he has more of a track record than Nate McKinnon does. So it's to dirty play or egregious. I kind of disregard those type of comments. It's an unfortunate result.
Yeah, McDavid's thrown some bows in his time. Remember?
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't forget that. I think Nathan McKinnon also kind of walks the line at times, but to me, the penalty was good. Like, I think you kind of do have to, like I said, you have to set the line somewhere. You can't just be going full speed and having those plays. Oil Mama says, I disagree. The league has to protect the goalies. McKinnon was reckless, drove the blue paint. He deserved the penalty. But no one's disagreeing that he deserved a penalty, except for Schlemko. Morning, boys. Isn't intention irrelevant? All players say I didn't intend to hurt him, but it's the result.
No, that's a match. A match penalty in the rule book, which this was not. But just for example, part of the definition of a match penalty is intent to injure. The word intent is right in it.
When it's a high stick, you didn't intend to do it, but you did it.
A follow through is not even a penalty anymore if you catch a guy in the jibs on a high sticking penalty. So intent absolutely matters.
I've said for a while, like going back to 5 questions when Struddy was a co-host, does the league need to look at suspending for intent? Because I know it would tick people off, but there was a couple instances, Trouba throwing the elbow and just missing guys.
Yeah, didn't hit anybody, so there's no foul.
So there's no foul. But like if I'm watching that from afar, like, nope, we're squashing this right now. You get a game.
He just tried to decapitate that guy.
Well, then what happened a few years later? He slashed somebody in the face. Now, separate incidents of that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't think you can necessarily always look at intent, but there's some times where it has to factor in maybe just a little bit. Craig the Keg says, boys, think about it this way. If it's the playoffs, what stops the team from sending a player flying into a goalie? Sure, they take the penalty. The other team's goalie's taken out.
If it was that easy, why doesn't it happen every year? Riddle me that.
It would happen every year. I think because I'm just with you. I don't think it was intentional. McKinnon's going to the blue paint, as we praise NHL players to do so, full speed because he's really fast, and it happened, and he got penalized, and that's it. Move on. Oilers take the 2 points. Big win. Sam Bennett did it last year every round. He did catch a couple guys in the head, just outside the blue paint sometimes even. Imitation Tom says, I'm a homer till I die, but if you watch McKinnon's skates pre-contact with Nurse, they're pointed away. He was swooping out and got clipped. Yes, it was risky, but game misconduct, no. IT, I think I'm with you there. Nobody seemed to be talking about the headshot that Darnell Nurse took before running the goalie. Wouldn't that be a penalty as well?
Is Darnell Nurse not on his knees?
Yeah.
Like he's sliding across, then he clips McKinnon in the hip. Like, that is... Darnell Nurse is putting himself in that position, which it's not like a victim blaming thing from Nurse's perspective. We've seen penalties get called even if the head is lower. Like, it's like It's the player's responsibility to avoid the opponent's head, but this is a different situation. The guy's on his knees, and McDavid's already McKinnon has a right to that ice too.
McKinnon's playing the puck.
McKinnon has a right to the ice just as much as Nurse does.
If he was throwing an intentional hit to the head, maybe.
Swinging the knee out or kicking him in the head when you go past something that terrible, of course. But no, that's another silly element of this argument, I think.
MTR says, why doesn't a 5-minute penalty exist with no game misconduct? Great question. Because when they said he's done, I'm like, why?
You're out of here, buddy.
Like 5-minute major? Sure. I would have been fine with that.
Hit the showers.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Oilers did not make them pay on that power play.
No, they did not. And it's funny because the Oilers had 2 power play goals last night, right? The McDavid and the Nuge one. Oh, the power play was terrible most of the night.
That little McDavid spinorama
That's
play,
an unreal play.
I think it was Taves. It's probably just like, and you're shorthanded one already, but it's like, what do I do?
That type of play is poetry in motion.
Does the fact that Ingram was leaking play into it?
Yeah,
I think so. I would say so. Rockford, I think it does. Pietrangelo slash on dry was one game, albeit playoffs, seemed legit when talking about intent. I mean, yeah, when you two-hand chop somebody, there's certainly intent going into it. It's not necessarily a bang play like what we saw last night.
It's not a hockey play.
Yeah, you're going in there to hurt. It's like when Banksy took it in Mighty Ducks against Iceland. So celebrating that goal,
got him.
You can't be celebrating too much. The text line is 1-833-401-1440. We'll take a bit of an early break for us, but we're kind of right on the clock here.
Wow.
But when we come back, I want to get to Lance's text. I want to get to Oddball talking upsets and hockey and Mad Max Crosby. What's going to happen? It's Fantasy Frenzy brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 one-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. March Madness is finally here. If you've been waiting to get into a new or used vehicle, now is the time. This is a mega sale, plus the grand opening of our all-new Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No iPads, no patio sets, no trips to Vegas. Just a good deal. So stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk Beef Jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk Beef Jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Get the inside scoop for your team
on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
11:22. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and Country Mac with you here. Text line blowing up. Everyone's got their opinions, and we'll get to as many as we can. This segment for elksnation.ca, 2 weekly podcast with Eddie Steele and Duncan Kruger breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage you're going to find out there. Check them out online at elksnation.ca. You can also watch the videos elksnation.ca on YouTube. Does the PWHL do handshakes after every game?
Sportsmanship.
Mackenzie, is that a thing?
I think so.
Because I've watched games, but I usually turn it off after. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Like they all do. You know how the Hurricanes do like the surge?
Yeah.
Most of the PWHL teams do that. So I think they just throw a handshake in there too. Especially because it's still a pretty small league. So a lot of these women are like pretty tight knit. So good sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship triumphs.
Yeah, maybe in Brandon's Tuesday night beer league so we can go get free nachos from the brew house.
No. First of all, the league changed. The free nachos are to OJ's now. Or wings. One order of wings to split amongst your
if you take
12.
no penalties.
Yeah, if you go the whole game with no penalties, which I'm adamantly against.
Yeah.
I tell my team, we better not have any free nachos by the end of the year. It means we're not playing hard enough. Is it a coincidence that I think 2 of the games we've accomplished that this year have games I've been playing in net?
Why aren't you chopping someone down?
Yeah, good question. I don't have the intensity in net. Maybe that's why my results haven't been very good this year.
Okay, well, great sportsmanship. A little surprising, though.
Is that kind of Mickey Mouse?
They don't. I mean, they're hockey players. They're competitive. It's bad blood. It's maybe I'm a caveman. I don't look at myself this way often.
I want to see more hate in sports.
Well, I mean, we get like people hate seeing jersey swaps after games in the NFL and stuff. Like that's too much. There's a lot of hugging in the NFL after games, no doubt about that. But hockey, I don't know. Anywho, let us know. Back to the segment being for elksnation.ca. Check them out. YouTube. You can also get their podcasts wherever you can download those from. Articles at elksnation.ca. Lance had said, hey guys, the NFL needs to change. We need Davis to sue the NFL. Well, his father did way back in the day. Here's the thing, though. I think with that contract, in case you missed it, the Ravens and Raiders agreed to send Maxx Crosby to Baltimore for 2 first-round picks. The Ravens, before it could happen, retracted. They redacted. I don't know. they said it was due to failing a physical, which I'm sure was in print in their argument or their deal.
Agreement.
Like, if he doesn't pass the physical, it's not going to happen. That's probably
Pending
standard
physical.
practice.
We've seen this before, but it's usually with free agents, not with a trade.
And,
And we have seen it with trades before too, but just I don't know if there's ever been a player of this profile.
For 2 first-round picks.
Right.
$30 million free on your cap in free agency, where you probably like, we're going to allocate that money elsewhere. I just think it's wild, because what did the Baltimore Ravens think would happen? He had surgery at the end of the season. It's March 11th. Do you think he's just going to heal? Like, no, without a doubt, he's going to be back. He's going to be a beast. But you think he's just going to be ready to pass the physical? Like, it makes no sense why they would agree to this deal in the first place.
I asked David Schlemko this question as a guy that's, been traded, had to pass physicals, free agents, all these things as a pro athlete. Now it's, the NHL versus NFL. Take the difference in the two however you choose. But I just said, like, what would have the team been expecting here, to use your own words there, Connor, that he did just go surgery. They knew he was hurt. That was the whole thing about him not playing out the string for Vegas, is that he didn't agree with the team's asset management and to get this deal done. So in this assessment, this physical evaluation, which was at the Ravens facility, he was there. He's in Baltimore. What do they find in their evaluation that gives them such hesitancy to pull back on the acquisition of one of the very best defensive players in the entire sport? There's something's not right here. And now you see one team has made their pivot, right? The Ravens go out there. I think they got so lucky here that Trey Hendrickson was still on the market. I'll be the first to say it. I thought he would have been a first day guy signed for sure. Now, maybe they were asking a little too much money and the market was softer than Henderson and his camp thought. Now, all of a sudden, that market completely changes because the Ravens are saying, we need this guy. And Hendrickson probably knows that. Supposedly gets 4 years, $120 million was the max. I think 112 maybe was the original number. So, hey, good for Henderson. He gets paid. The Ravens get their pass rusher, maybe just not quite the same tier as Crosby. But now the Raiders, they're left with that $30 million back on their books. They were one of, if not the biggest spending team in free agency so far. His future is not with this team at this point. That much, I think, is very evident. They're going to trade him again. The return is not going to be 2 first-round picks.
No. Be like first and a second.
First and a second. What would be enough of a return for the Raiders to still justify this trade? Is a first and a second enough? First and 2 seconds? Is a team willing to give that? If all of a sudden you get all these other teams that were originally in the market, maybe swung and missed a little bit in free agency, like are the Bears still in the market for Maxx Crosby? And as a first and 2 seconds,
they are
a more palatable number or return for them to fork over.
Yeah, I would think so. And I mean, if you're the Bears, you're probably like, this is great. The number dropped.
If
just
I
a
was
little bit
Ryan
here.
Poles, I'd be jumping for joy this morning.
Yeah, and it's wild. And I feel bad for the Raiders because they gave $26 million to Linderbaum, and then they brought in all these players, and they say they're going to honor those contracts that they offered. They're really good players, so of course you're going to want to keep them. But and then for the Ravens, just to go spend that on Hendrickson, like I like Hendrickson, but he's 31, coming off injury as well. He gets after the passer, but he's not Maxx Crosby. Like his sack numbers will look good, but
Crosby's a game wrecker.
He tackles for loss, QB hits, and in the run game,
and plays
he's a
every
menace.
down.
Yeah, so like for me, as a Chargers fan, like get him out of the division. He's an absolute beast. But that's wild. And now here's my question to you, Duke. You're an agent. You're a GM around the NHL. You look at the Ravens. Are you like, no?
I'm a GM in the NHL.
NFL. You're GM in the NFL. Are you looking at the Raiders and saying, no, I don't want to. Like, this is no.
Well, I think the Ravens are put in a really tough spot, and their chance to maximize, no pun intended, the return for Crosby here is fleeting. Your best bet is to try and get the Bears and insert another team here into some sort of bidding war that drives the price back up too. I think like the top end of the return now is going to be a first and 2 seconds. And I think the realistic is probably a first and a second.
But do you look at the Ravens front office and say, I don't want to deal with you guys?
Oh, the Ravens front
Ravens,
office.
Yeah.
No, I think that they have enough of a track record that this is shady. This is a little weird and off-putting for sure. But when the rubber hits the road here, they're going to be a team competing for a division title, for the playoffs. You still have Lamar Jackson for at least the time being. There's always that scuttle.
Redid his deal to free up 40
restructured it so now they can make the Henderson stuff work and still maybe try and make some more additions, however that may come. So I don't know. Maybe there'll be a little initial pushback, but in the long term, I don't think this really affects them.
Just Darcy saying that the handshake is not Mickey Mouse. It's good sportsmanship, and the young people see it. It's just weird in pro sport. After a regular season
every game.
Playoffs for sure.
After
Totally get
series.
it. A series, yeah.
Yeah.
But
like there's mutual respect and congratulating an opponent on a series well fought, regardless of the result. And we've seen plenty of animosity in handshake lines too, more so in recent years, I think, than in the past. But I mean, you can go back, obviously, the Avalanche and Red Wings rivalry right after all that shook out, and there's the ESPN doc on it was so good. You hear some of the players talking, like the Red Wings players talking about Claude Lemieux. Like, I can't believe I had to shake that guy's hand. But guess what? They still did it. And they did it without causing a scene in the moment or anything. That's awesome. I love it. It's part of what makes hockey great. But after every game in the regular season,
So the first 10 games of the PWHL season, they did it. You got to get that. New league, like unity. On game 11, it stopped. But it looks like it's back. Anyways, this is what it is. I don't hate enough to lose my mind. It just seemed a little weird.
It's a little odd.
Why does this always happen to the Raiders? Well, I mean, Lance, that didn't happen to the Raiders before. And I think you got to look inward. Why do the Raiders do these things? Why did you bring in Antonio Brown that one year? Like Jamarcus Russell, did you do your research on him?
Verbal meme, the guy riding the bike and then sticks the stick in his own spokes, falls over. Why does this keep happening to me?
Why does Lee keep doing this to me? I mean, it's a lot of self-inflicted wounds there. Triple Cena Truck says, if it's just a meniscus tear, he should be fully repaired now. It obviously wasn't for Crosby. Well, yeah, I mean, like I think there's a few things they had to fix up in there. But I mean, he'll battle back. He'll be good. And man, if the Raiders keep him, with Quay Walker and Kobe Dean, they got some pieces there. But the cap is where it's really going to hit them. And then you got to nail your draft picks. MTR says they won't even get a first for him.
I think
I would give a first for Maxx Crosby in a second. Something tells me they wouldn't trade him in division to the Chargers, but
trade him to the Texans.
No.
Is there a point of
collusion?
Is there a point of redundancy on your front line?
Would you trade Hunter for Crosby?
I don't think so.
No.
I like, and it's not a knock on Crosby, but like, that works. This combination of Anderson and Hunter on your ends, and it really doesn't matter who you put between them. I think. Why mess with a winning recipe?
Yeah, I mean, you get a little younger. The guy coming off injury.
Not much though, really.
2 years.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy. It'd be weird, such a weird trade. You just line up Crosby at defensive tackle, maybe.
and they just signed Hunter to a new deal too. So
yeah. Jane Victoria says, biggest story is Duke's Ducks keep on winning. Also, Lucky Darnell didn't get taken out by the spotter. McKinnon plays hard, and he's not that clean of a player, which I like. To be totally honest with you, like, I know Darnell took a bump there. Wasn't even watching it afterwards. I was like, Connor Ingram's bleeding from the head. He kind of stole the show with that one. JP says, get rid of the handshake immediately. Rec League. Walter said, it happened to the Raiders because they tried to sell damaged goods. But that's the thing. Like,
he just had surgery.
Yeah.
How thorough can your physical evaluation be of a player when he's recovering from surgery?
It was so well documented about what he was going through because he wanted to play. They wanted to shut him down, probably for this purpose, so they could get the
surgery done sooner.
But the Ravens knew this. They knew it was reported everywhere. They knew what they were bringing in. It wasn't a secret. And if that is the case, keep it on the down low. Let's get Max in here for a physical and let's see how it goes. Like, he was there for 4 days, I believe, in Baltimore before it actually happened, which is just crazy. What have my Vikings done? I haven't heard much on the bush from Playbook Vic. PBV, good to hear from you.
What have the Vikings done? Admittedly, not much that jumps to top of mind. They did not. They lost Jalen Naylor.
The Raiders.
They cut a couple other defensive players for cap reasons.
If you search Minnesota Vikings, the most recent news is former Viking star Adrian Peterson pleads guilty in DWI case.
Not great.
Tavier Thomas signed. The Vikings agreed to terms with long snapper Andrew DePaulo yesterday. So not a whole lot. I mean, the Vikings spent a lot of money last year in free agency rather than paying a quarterback who apparently is capable of winning a Super Bowl. But yeah, still not much right there. A lot of teams have stayed quiet. My Chargers have stayed quiet. Broncos, relatively quiet. I think they cut Greenlaw. Your Texans, mostly quiet.
They added an O-lineman, which they needed to do, obviously, and now I think that'll be... Would I be shocked if the Texans, with their first 4 picks, drafted all offensive linemen? No, I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
Playbook Vic, there's some whispers about the Kyler Murray. If you want to... Because he replied and said, still no quarterback. Maybe Kyler Murray. Maybe. I think there's the thing with free agency is too, there's going to be cuts July 1st. These teams, you spend all that money, but you've got to have a little bit left just in case a big name drops before the season. You got to save money for your draft class. Husk says, CH, such a dumb situation. Ravens got cold feet. Let's go Indiana Jones. I hope the word goes for my Colts, but that's a lot of dough. Yeah. Indiana Jones. Daniel Jones getting a 2-year extension with the Colts. Was it $88 million? 44 per year?
60 guaranteed.
In a world where a lot of quarterbacks are getting north of 55 million, getting him for under 45, if he performs like he did at the start of the year, pretty good. And it's only 2 years. So I don't mind it, actually. I think it's pretty low risk in the grand scheme of things. I'd like to see the breakdown of the contract, how much is coming in year 1 versus year 2. But I don't mind it. We'll take a break here. When we come back, more texts, and I'll let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown and the Gregor Show. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Being a living organ donor is a noble, life-changing act. But there's more than one way to be a hero. Join the Living Donor Circle of Excellence. As an employer, you can give the gift of time and remove financial barriers to make employee donations easier. You'll earn recognition, a raised corporate profile, employee satisfaction, and of course, be a huge part in saving lives in desperate need. Support the sacrifice of living donors. Discover how to join the Living Donor Circle of Excellence program today at kidney.ca.
Budget 2026 is focused on what matters. with record investments in healthcare and education and a plan to keep our economy strong. This means better access to doctors and nurses, plus 50,000 more surgeries over 3 years. It also means hiring more teachers and building or renovating more than 160 schools, all while keeping taxes low and growing the economy. Budget 2026, focused on what matters. Visit alberta.ca/budget. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas.
This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
.41. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Coming up today on the Lowdown Flow Tide. Of course, they'll recap the Oilers game. Kevin McCurdy will be by. Then on the Jason Gregor show.
This is crazy.
Shaquille O'Neal, one-on-one with Gregor. I just got the text. Oh, that's a good get. So we'll hear from, Shaq Daddy, Diesel, about 220 one-on-one that Gregor's going to have with him. I'm sure if you saw on social media, it was popping up that he was in Sherwood Park at a hookah bar.
Do we have any inclination as to why?
It's a happen in town, man.
Maybe he's looking at some real estate in the park.
I would assume there was some financial gain to bring him to Sherwood Park. Walter had said, you guys assume Crosby failed the medical for the reasons associated with his recent surgery. And I had to say, yeah, well, that's probably it, you know?
Like, do you think Maxx Crosby's going to the Ravens facility, sat down, and they're like, did you know that your shoulder's dislocated?
Your wrist is broken.
Oh, my God.
He's like Andy Dwyer going to the doctor. It's like all these problems.
My mouth's always dry. My eyes hurt. I don't have any interest in former hobbies. I was like, we don't want this guy around. This guy sucks.
Failed. I mean, yeah, we have to. That's just how we're looking at it. Like, sure, there could be another reason. There could be something they didn't expect that popped up for sure. That's possible. But we got to think that the knee
was playing football at the end of this year.
Yeah.
How serious could it be? Unless it's some underlying thing, I suppose. But stuff like that really crop up in a run-of-the-mill physical?
I don't know. MTR says Nate Diaz was here last week too. Why? That's the thing, guys. Edmonton's pretty sick.
Edmonton's on the rise. Some are calling it the Salt Lake City of Canada. north of the 49th parallel.
Next week, Kardashians coming up.
Which ones?
All of them.
Really?
Yep.
Are any of them available?
For those not watching on YouTube, I looked over at Mackenzie.
I didn't want to avoid pigeonholing.
I believe not.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they're all snapped up right now.
Who's Kim dating?
That race car driver.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
Really?
Him. Yeah.
Okay.
Timothy Chalamet's with one.
Yep. Actually,
is Tyga still with
Chloe?
Chloe doesn't
O.J.
have
Simpson's daughter?
Allegedly. Maybe that's your option. But then Tristan's in the picture.
That's cool. Canadians. Maybe she's got a thing for Canadians. We could be boys.
No chance Duke could handle a Kardashian.
I agree with that. I would definitely not. But the only reason I'd be interested, speaking of Shaq Hyman's reason for being in Edmonton, possibly because of financial gain, I wouldn't mind getting a piece of that.
Gregor confirming he's here with the partnership with the Brick.
Nice.
So That is awesome. Did you hear Bill Comrie on?
I caught pieces of it, yeah.
His story about how they built up the brick was so
unreal. And because we've had him on the Carey show before as well. And, you know, a lot of the same topics and stuff come up in some of the stories. They're just unbelievable. And yeah, the start for him and how they get things going. And I know Kevin had mentioned it to you. I think it was on air when you were on with him yesterday about the original Midnight Madness sale and stuff. And he was so disappointed. And then all of a sudden he goes out there and they're like lined up around the block to come in and crazy.
He said he was 19.
Just like unreal.
Everyone's here.
What was I doing at 19?
Shout out to the St. Albert location. Forrest got me my mattress. It's unbelievable.
Shout out the one here in the mall for my couch and the one in South Common for my mattress.
There you go.
I wish I remember the guys' names that helped me. They were both very helpful, but I don't have as good a memory.
Well, Forrest stood out. The customer service was immaculate. Also with Gregor, of course, Spec will be by. Tyler, your Remchuk. I'm just getting a text from Mike Rubb. We might have to push him till tomorrow, but
busy show.
Yeah, absolutely. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. Jamie texting in. Just saw Shaq. He's down in the park. What's he doing in town? Well, he's here with the brick. So there you go. Got it all figured out here.
Love the brick.
DJ Diesel, as Dinocracy says. Yeah, Shaq's like, he is a sheriff, right?
Legally?
I think he's legally a sheriff.
Or like an honorary sheriff.
I think he is a real one.
Wow.
DJ, entrepreneur.
Spokesman for that printer company.
Yeah. Creator of the shoes.
Icy Hot.
Yeah. Guy really
Shazam or Kazam.
Kazam.
Was Sinbad Shazam?
That wasn't a real movie, allegedly.
What?
Yeah, that's not a real movie, I think. The 1990 movie Shazam, starring comedian Sinbad, is a famous example of the Mandela effect.
What?
A movie where a phenomenon where a large group of people share a false memory.
I'm aware of the Mandela effect. The example I'm most familiar with is the spelling of the Berenstain Bears.
That's a big one too. See, I'm with you because I really thought Shazam was a movie.
So what was Sinbad in?
That was not a movie.
Yeah, I know, but Sinbad's a real person.
Sinbad was in a lot of movies. He was in the Christmas movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jingle All the Way, House Guest, First Kid. I guess he was in Good Burger too. More of a minor role, but yeah, he was in a lot, but that's not a real movie. Lance says, you knew this. You're just messing with us.
I wish I was that smart to plan things out like this. This is all genuine. This is insane.
The newer Shazams were good. Well, that was like a different...
That was a superhero
That's
one.
a superhero movie with
DC Universe. I can't remember the actor's name, but I heard they were pretty good.
The guy who played Kurt Warner.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see that movie?
Yes, I did.
That was a good one.
I thought it was entertaining. It could not have been more of a Disney movie if they tried it to be. But I liked it. I was entertained.
When he's in the arena league and the owner's like, yeah, you get $200 a touchdown.
He just
he's
hands
like,
him like cash.
Oh,
this place rocks.
Just starts slinging it. Wasn't Shazam with Shaq from Matthias's Beard? The Genie movie? Yes. He was.
I thought that was Kazam.
Oh, yeah, it was Kazam. Sorry. That came out in 1996. He kind of led this. He headlined the movie. The cast around him, not as strong.
Was Shaq in Space Jam?
No. Muggsy Bogues. Larry Bird was in it. Was it Barkley?
Oh, yeah, Chuck was in it.
Super tall guy for the Mavs at the time. How can I forget his name? But not Shaquille O'Neal. Sinbad was in Blank Check, I think. Trey Dan. I don't think so. Blank Check was a fun movie, but little troublesome.
Yeah, it's a little suspect.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it on his filmography.
No, I don't think he was in it. But that was a good movie. And like that came out when I was like 7. I thought, wow, that would be very cool.
You think?
Yeah. To find a blank. Sean Bradley. Thank you, Team Dean. Yes, he was also in it. 1-833-401-1440. We should touch on the upset for the Italian baseball team. Do quickly here, just that.
Yeah.
A potential for a pretty crazy thing to happen when Mexico plays Italy
tonight.
So if Italy wins, they will advance along with the United States. If Mexico wins and scores 5 or more runs, they advance.
Is it 5 or more runs or win by 5 or more?
I think it's
the run
just
differential.
scoring 5
It's
or
just
more.
runs scored.
That just says Mexico wins, scores 5+ runs, they advance. If Mexico wins and scores 4 or less runs, they advance with Italy.
Wow.
Would two nations intentionally collude and win 2-0 or something?
Kind of flip the bird to the United States.
As we mentioned, the Americans make up 95% of the Italian roster. So do they want to win?
But they obviously at least have some sort of pride for their family's heritage to do this. And you and I touched on off the top, like they wouldn't make the American team. So a chance to play in an event of this caliber, this is their opportunity to do so. They're relishing in that. But as it goes so far as essentially colluding against your actual home nation. But that's got to be like, that would be kind of cool. Is like, hey, remember when you guys, like, they return to their club teams, probably with a teammate or two of theirs playing for the U.S., depending on the situation. Say, that's a tough look for you guys. You didn't even get out of the group stage, the World Baseball Classic. I don't know if they were favored to win or second to Japan, but
top 2. Hey, if these were a bunch of kids from Rome, Milan, Venice, then I would think maybe they'd Naples, Turin, maybe they'd be more likely to do it. But I just think that with all them being American, it's like, let's just win. And
I think they're just going to play the game as usual, and they're going to try to win. Mexico's going to try to win with the element of runs scored not playing a role, if I'm honest. Like, I think they're just, because for each team, is it win and in? Like, if each respective team wins,
Italy wins, they're in with the States, yeah.
And but is Mexico in regardless?
I don't think so. I think they have to win because they would go in with the U.S. in that group, right?
Right, yeah. Because if Italy wins, then yeah. So I think it'll be a standard baseball game.
I would think so.
Shout out to Canada too. Obviously, that game took the headlines last night, but Canada did beat Puerto Rico in a really close game. Another good effort by this Canadian club that has got some really good talent on, obviously major league talent. They play Cuba at 1:00. They are winning in. It would be the first time in the existence of the tournament that they have advanced out of the group stage. So that's a nice little matinee affair, 1:00 for your viewing pleasure. Not much else going on today, unless you're down at Hockey Hooky at the Oil Kings game.
They were up 3-0 last we heard.
Mackenzie gave us an update. They're coming out of the break, already up 3-0 over Wenatchee. And then tonight, it's only 2 NHL games. If you're lucky enough to have some dual screen action, throw those on. And the baseball game, Italy, Mexico on the other. Cheer on Alejandro Kirk. I like it. And then the later game starts at 6. Obviously, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. playing for the DR. So they take on Venezuela in the final game.
Yeah, been a really fun event so far.
I've enjoyed it. It's a little early teaser, and the quality of baseball has been pretty good. I think exceeding expectations at certain points for this stage of the season, right? Like, guys train year-round now. They're pro athletes. They should be expected to. It's not the days of when you show up to spring training to get into shape. That's more so to, get game feel back and things like that. So the quality I've been impressed with for the games I've watched, and I'm looking forward to catching as much of the Canada game as I can. I got another skate today. My body's going to fall apart, but I'll watch as much of it as I can before I leave.
Quickly, Tony the meter reader says, "Hey boys, Bucks fan here. I'm curious to see why they've been so quiet. I'm indifferent to Evans leaving. He's been older, injury prone, but you got Baker in his prime. What you saw last year was an ineffective offense. Godwin injury prone. Nabuka Johnson, small receivers. Defense is atrocious. Find it to be conservative. Not sure what the team identity is or where they're heading. I'm worried." Well, you go back and look what they've done in free agency. Like you said, you lose Mike Evans. You bring in Kenneth Gainwell to kind of share the backfield with Bucky Irving. And then on the defensive side of things, you really didn't do a whole lot. Obviously, they bring in Alex Anzalone. I am a little bit nervous for this Bucks team because the Panthers, I think, are on the rise, and they spent some money this offseason. The Saints, if Tyler Shuck can
piece it together, build on that second half momentum he had.
They'll have some nice draft picks.
And the Falcons, new regime in place from top right down to the bottom. That the Falcons, I don't know if they needed to do a ton to improve their roster because it seems like it's good, and there's other things that have held them back. So, Matt, maybe it might be the worst division again this year, but I still think it'll be very competitive all the same. The NFC South, that is.
That's what I'm thinking. Like it's not ideal. Like if I'm a Bucks fan, I have those same questions
nervous for sure.
But that division, who knows? Might be the Panthers' year to take advantage of it. Now that music means we are done. And make sure you keep it locked here on Sports 1440. Coming up next, Lowdown with Low Tide from noon till 2. Then from 2 to 6, it is the Jason Greger Show following that Fox Sports Radio. And then we'll do it all again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with Kevin Carius, followed by Fantasy Frenzy. Make sure you check the podcast if you missed anything as well. Check us out on YouTube, Sports 1440 AM. Before we get to break, we'll get to a Sports 1440 update with Mackenzie the Intern, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Light night in the NHL with only 2 games on deck. Montreal takes on the Sens at Canadian Tire Center at 5:30. Flyers host the Capitals. 6 games in the association. Raptors are in New Orleans. Tip-off at 6. Jazz host the Knicks. Charlotte is on the road in Sacramento. Rockets take on the Nuggets. Minnesota and Clippers have the nightcap. In the World Baseball Classic, Canada takes on Cuba at 1. With a win, Canada can win their pool. In the NFL offseason, the Colts and have reached an agreement with quarterback Daniel Jones on a 2-year, $88 million contract with $50 million guaranteed at signing. The 49ers are releasing wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. And in the WHL, Oil Kings are currently up 3-0 over Wenatchee at Rogers Place. In the AJ, Bonnieville is in Fort Mac. Puck drop at 7. In the PWHL, the Fleet are on the second half of a back-to-back in Seattle. Next on Sports 1440, the Lowdown with Low Tide, Declan Kruger and Josh Fenwick. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.